This is Patrick, and today I will be telling you how to install Cisco's Foundation-Sec-8B LLM. So, for those of you who don't know, Foundation-Sec-8B is an 8 billion parameter base language model specialized for cybersecurity applications. It is trained on cybersecurity specific text, such as threat intelligence reports, vulnerability databases, incident response documentation, and security standards. It has also been trained to understand security concepts, terminologies, and practices across multiple domains. So essentially, this LLM is specialized for cybersecurity. Now, to get started, we will first be creating an Anaconda environment. Here I have already created one. I am using Python 11.0, 3.11 here. I'm using Python 3.11. And the first thing we are doing here is from here, we are going to install Torch. We're installing Git, Hugging Face Transformers, Hugging Face Accelerate, and Hugging Face Hub. Next, we're also installing Conda's notebook and IPY widgets. And before we can run the notebook, if you're using a device with a GPU, you have to install a compatible version of CUDA. In this case, you can find which CUDA version you should use by running a command such as NVIDIA SMI to get your maximum compatible CUDA version. Here, the latest CUDA version my GPU supports is 12.6, so I will install CUDA 12.6. You can see that I run the command somewhere down all the way around in this area. Here it is. So after installing all of these, I create a Jupyter notebook here. And to write the following code, I import Torch, and from transformers, I import auto tokenizer and auto model for causal LM. I get the tokenizer from pre-trained and get FDTN AI / Foundation SEC8B, and from the model, I get it from the same source. Now I set the device to CUDA if CUDA is available, and otherwise it's the device's CPU. Next, I print the device to be extra sure that CUDA is available, and finally I set the model to the device. You can see that the checkpoint charts are loaded. This takes a while, so I have already run this to save time. And I've also confirmed I'm using CUDA. Next, I have a prompt here, where I type in a prompt such as CVE 2021-10011 is a vulnerability about OpenDNS, OpenResolve improper output neutralization. The CWE is. I go to the inputs. I set the inputs equals tokenizer prompt, return tensors equals PT. Padding is true, and add special tokens is true. I get the inputs. I set the pad token ID to the tokenizer's pad token ID if there is one, and otherwise I set to the tokenizer's EOS token ID. And finally I set the output to model.generate inputs here, attention mask, max new tokens, do sample, temperature, top P, and pad token ID. I take the response and strip it, and finally I print it here. So here I set the max new tokens to a longer length so that I can properly capture the phrase here. In this case, it says that the CWE of CVE 2021-10011 is CWE 74, improper neutralization of special elements in output used by downstream components, also known as injection. Thank you for watching.